everyone, and good morning to today's highlights of Thrive Motherhood Method Workshop that we just completed and wrapped on Tuesday. Thank you so much for participating, and welcome to the group. Some of you are new and found your way here as friends brought you and invited you somewhere during the sessions. It was so fun to be on live sessions with you, and so fun to really push the edges of where you guys are at with your awareness, really calling in some new ideas and perceptions of how motherhood can work, of what kind of mom or partner you can be, and that it really doesn't have to be all struggle and suffering. I have been helping moms for 20 years and niching down throughout that space of time to help moms who have really challenging situations at home, challenging partnerships, challenging kids, who feel like the old system is not enough to actually give any of this the kind of happiness or joy or lightness that I'm wanting. And that's what I do best. In Awakened Motherhood, we're helping women to rewire the way that they do motherhood, think about themselves, think about family, relate to family. And through healing the nervous system, we're healing relationships. We're healing your own mental and emotional life. And it's so powerful to see what happens when I teach little bits of this content through the free sessions in the Thrive Workshop. You guys are really getting it. I love being on calls with you and really hearing what's unfolding, opening, and waking up in you. Just had a call with someone who has been implementing something from session 2, which I'm going to touch on in a minute, and getting incredible results with her husband. Incredible results. The way that she's looking at something has changed, and so the communication is changing. And guess what's happening? Her husband is changing how he responds. That is the magic of shifting your approach, your system, and your strategy and getting a better one. And this morning, as I was getting ready for this talk, I was thinking, like, I'm going to do a quick recap in a minute of the first 5 sessions. And what I was thinking about is how this work is kind of is in ways it's intangible, right? How you feel, what you think, how you do motherhood feels kind of intangible. Joy feels intangible. Lightness feels intangible. And so sometimes people make the mistake of feeling like, well, the work itself is not tangible. But there's nothing more powerful than the thoughts you think and the words you say. There's nothing more powerful than the energy that you bring to a conversation or to the breakfast table or to how you greet your kids when they come in from school and they're grumpy and tired and crispy and they don't want anything other than for you to just be a safe place to land. How you meet them there is the most powerful thing about life itself and about what creates your relationships. And I was thinking about how, like, no one would ever make the mistake of trying to beat their best record time. What's your record time if you were to go out and run a mile? Like, how long would that take you? What's your best time you think you could get? My kids have been in their PE. They've been running the mile and getting timed and like seeing their time against other kids' time. And we've been talking about it and about like what this brings up and how it feels for you to feel like you're looking at other people who are able to sprint a mile and have incredible time, and your time isn't the best, or it's the best for you. It's your personal best, but it isn't the same or as good as someone else's. And we do this all the time, scrolling Instagram, looking at Facebook, watching other moms out and about, or hearing people talk about their motherhood experience or family, and we feel like we're not measuring up, or we feel like someone else is doing it better. And I think it's just important to remember where we started on day 1. I gave you a universal truth that I carry with me everywhere, which is everyone is doing the best they can with what they have in any given moment. And that includes you. You are doing the best that you can with what you have available to you in every given moment. Another way to say that is you're doing the best you can with what you've been given in any given moment. And the reality is that if you were to go out and run, try to hit your best time running a mile, but you were wearing sneakers from the 1990s. Let's say you strap on your sneakers from the 90s. That probably wouldn't fit a lot of you, huh? You were young in the 90s. I was full grown in the 90s. Maybe that analogy isn't a good one. From the early 2000s. And you strap on your running shoes and you go for a run, you would not expect to have your best time ever, right? You would not expect to hit your best numbers. You wouldn't break any records for yourself because you were wearing something that was not the best. You were operating on what I call an old strategy or system, if the shoes are the strategy. That's not cutting edge technology, right? We know so much more now than we did 20 years ago. We know so much more now than our parents knew and could give us. And yet we're running on old systems and expecting to do better, meaning you're not getting the support you need, but you're expecting to do better. You're not learning new strategies, but you're expecting for other people to change or for life to get easier. You're expecting more of yourself, more perfection of yourself, but you're not getting a better strategy. You're not learning how to work with perfectionism in a way that doesn't harm you. And so I really want to say that what's come to clarity through the Thrive Workshop is that if you have a system or a strategy that is outdated, that is from your parents, that you've never really worked on developing, that is not a fit for maybe the kids that you have, or the partner, the spouse that you have, then it's time to get a better strategy. It's time to upgrade that. So where we focused in terms of giving you new tools and strategies through this workshop were, number one, changing your making a mental shift from this is so hard, it all feels like a struggle, no one appreciates me, whatever your inner dialogue is, to hang on, time out, pattern interrupt. You are more than your circumstances. You are more than you know. You're allowed to be more, to want more, to have more. You are allowed. So that was my first planting of the seed in your brain about abundance-based mindset. We talked about it later on the next Monday on this week. If you've got the replay page, then you can queue up that talk if you want more of that. But the beginning of an abundance mindset is going from not enough to it's okay for me to want more, to have more, to be more. It's okay for me to want to be happy. It is not selfish. It is not self-centered. It is not self-absorbed. It's not a bad thing. It's not negativity. The more love I have in my heart, the more joy I have in my heart, the more support I have available to me, the more abundance I have available to me, the more love everyone around me will have in their lives. And that is a very simple A plus B equals C. All right. So you're not here to struggle. You're not here to go without. You're not here to push through on steam, on fumes, while you take care of everyone else. That's just a big no. That pattern needs to die. It is done. It is from the past. It is from past generations. It does not serve us. Life moves way too fast for you to survive alone on taking care of everyone else and leaving yourself at the back. That is just done. It needs to die right here, right now. If it's still in you, I really want you to hear and say out loud the words, I am more than my circumstance. I am allowed to want more. I'm allowed to be and have more. Okay. I don't mean that from now you go off and stomp to your spouse and say, you never support me and you need to give me more. And from a 2-year-old emotional standpoint, that's not what I'm saying. Everybody gets to have more. Everyone gets to feel more love. Everyone gets to be happier. For me in my house, like my husband gets to go on bike rides when the kids were little. You know, he needs a mental health break and outing. He needs to go and ride his bike. And I get to go to yoga class. So we both have our times where we resource and we invest in ourselves and we are alone and child free because everyone needs that to be seen. Okay. In session 2, we talked about the value of getting out of your head and how it normally works in all of its limitation. And I gave you a technique for that, which is to get curious, to ask an open ended question, to meet yourself where you are and go, I wonder why I'm feeling this way. I wonder what's going on for me right now. And we brainstormed a bunch of questions, so you guys can watch the replay back to hear more on that. The key here is the medicine. It is a medicine, the transformative medicine of curiosity. And I teach this in module 2 of my Awakened Motherhood program with a lot of strategy connected to it, to get people deep into this, using this technique and how to use it and where to apply it so that you can open up new neural pathways in your brain. We need to dissolve some of these barriers in your brain and body to be able to move past this into more love, because curiosity is open and expansive, but where you are when you're overwhelmed or angry or resentful or running on steam is contraction. You're closed. Everything's a no. You say no before you say yes. Maybe you say no a lot more than you say yes. When your kids ask you things, no, I can't because, and you sort of live in that helpless place. And there's so much more beyond your limit, beyond your barrier, beyond your kind of wall that you live in and survive behind. Okay. So this is where your power lies, connection to your heart, to that expansion, to noticing how you feel and connecting with that, and just giving that some space and some room. Okay? Most moms are ignoring themselves. I don't want you to do that. And then another big session in session 3, I taught you the 4 C's. And the 4 C's are what you need in order to be that stable, strong presence for your kids, for your family, for your life, at work, in marriage. Everywhere you go, you're the common denominator, right? You remember me saying this? This is session 3. So watch the session 3 replay. If you need to be, if you're craving more order with your kids, more structure, if you want them to see you and hear you, you want to have a stronger presence, maybe you're a pushover, or you can't say no, or you fold, you cave on your no, or you have really intense kids who bulldoze you. Any of those things are happening for you, you're going to want to watch session 3 and learn the 4 C's. And the 4 C's are the formula for how to build that presence in you so that your voice is stronger, so that your kids take you seriously, so that you don't second guess and doubt yourself every other decision you make, or hesitate to do something for you you want to do. This comes up for people a lot when they want to invest in themselves to come and work with us, when they want to come into Awakened Motherhood and have the full up level in their families and really end that trauma cycle from the past. There's a hesitancy that comes up, and a self-doubt or fear of making a decision. And that's just a part of a pattern that we get into the habit of, that comes from fear-based thinking and scarcity and lack. So listen to get the 4 C's: consistency, certainty, clarity, and calm, but listen to learn about how to use them. And then we went into, let's see, what was session 4? I'm scrolling through. Session 4 was about your accessing your intuition, your secret power, I called it. And what intuition really is, and how to get out of the way so you can hear it. And you can actually start to build a relationship with it and trust it and meditate and get a big download about what's your next step, or focus on in an empowered prayer and really feel with total certainty what is the right path for you, where to look for support, how to ask for it. I mean, that relationship is the thing we have to condition and develop. But it's right here. It's always here, and it's always on. We all have it, even if you don't know how to hear it. Some people will say, I had it. I was so connected before motherhood. And then it just went quiet. There's so much fear in becoming responsible for other humans, isn't there? And so we become so used to living with that fear and tolerating it. And it's really so hard. Another thing we talked about was awakening that spirit in you, the God connection. That's so powerful to really be able to listen to and understand what your inner voice is telling you. And then we went through scarcity versus abundance mindset, how to move past scarcity, how it shows up, how to pull those weeds, where the weeds are, what they sound like, how to identify it, stop, pattern interrupt, get curious. And lastly, we went through my self-care formula. And this self-care formula is about the non-negotiables of like flimsy self-care versus real sustainable self-care. And that's really that it has to be sustainable, repeatable, and satisfying. And I went deep into that. This is the 7th session we did. So check that out in the replay. That one's going to help you guys so much if you're struggling with how to do nice things for yourself. And how to do nice things for yourself gets so much easier or more normalized when you actually start to care about yourself and how you feel. So if you're someone who doesn't really know how to care about yourself and how you feel, then self-care is not something you're gravitating toward. It more feels like a chore that you have to do. That's because you're not actually loving you. You don't know how to love you and care about you. It's okay. Don't panic if that's you and you hear me saying that. Building a relationship, a caring, loving relationship with yourself is something that you can do and start anytime, anywhere. You can start today to check in with yourself and go, what do you need? I care about you. We did a meditation where I gave you some prompts. We got into stillness and I gave you some prompts, a way to open up that relationship with yourself. All of this is in the replays. Okay. I also shared in the replays that we are still enrolling and that period is still open. We are still enrolling through tomorrow. Anyone who comes in with the pay in full, I'm going to bonus you the extra month. So that piece is on the table. If you guys are wanting to come and do the work with us in Awaken Motherhood, you're wanting the changes, you're wanting the results, you're wanting to just live your very best life now, and you don't want to wait. You have a relationship that you need to heal. You need to show your kids what a healthy relationship looks like in marriage. You need to show them what loving themselves looks like. You can see they're picking up on bad habits or patterns and you don't want to go another day with it. Then 100% get on my calendar. I will love on you. I will support you. We will talk about what is the best next step for you. Maybe it's Awaken Motherhood. Maybe it is not. I don't know. But don't be afraid to have that conversation if you're wanting, you feel the desire. I'll help you to find out what is it that you most are wanting to leave in the past, and then what is it you're most wanting to move toward and create within you. And then I'll help you map it out. And if that's means that I invite you into Awaken Motherhood, amazing, awesome, you're a great fit, and that means you're going to have a total transformation in your life. If it's not a perfect fit, then I'll give you something else. Okay, so I'm going to drop the replay link if no one has done it yet. Facebook isn't showing me any comments. It looks like it's all crickets out there as far as I can see from this side. So I'll check back. I'm going to drop the replay link in, and you guys comment if you need it and can't find it. Sometimes you see things in your post that you can't see things that are actually there. Facebook's gone tricky that way. So just say link below if you do want the replay link, and we will get it to you. And I'll drop my calendar link and get on my calendar if we haven't had a clarity call yet. Okay. All right. Lots of love, you guys. Such a pleasure to be with you here today. And let me know how I can support you. Drop your questions below. Okay. See you next week. Same time.